We human beings are not born with prejudices. Always they are made for us.
We are all victims of the same system of oppression. And in this America, millions of young people grow up in the sunlight of opportunity. But tragically and unfortunately, there is another America. And this other America has a daily ugliness about it. We see it as an arena of blasted hopes and shattered dreams.
I was walking down the stairs, and before I could touch the first step, a guy, he pushed past me, and then he shouted, "Only white people get to go down the stairs first." I was completely dumbfounded because that was the day after Trump's election. That was the first time that I had faced racism in Van Horn High School.
So for Halloween, we had school that day, and we were able to wear costumes or whatever. So I decided to wear a jail costume. Now, mind you, I wasn't thinking about race. I walked into a teacher's classroom, and they asked me, am I wearing that because I'm black? No. I was not okay with that.
I was in class and we created our own games. Me and my friends, we had sit down at a table to play this game, and we looked on a card and it had the word nigga on it. And we all started getting mad. We was like, who wrote this? Because we was like the only black kids. They didn't get no consequence at all.
So then one day in the cafeteria, tell her like, you can't sit with us, you're black. And I thought it was a joke at first, but they were actually serious and actually hurt the person. And teachers were just sitting there. And they were like clearly right next to the table that was going on.
Once I walk out the doors of Van Horn, I'm constantly being verbally abused. People call me a beaner Mexican, tell me I'm worthless and I should just get out.
I've had teachers that have made really racial jokes. I felt super uncomfortable because I didn't know what to say and I didn't know how to speak up.
It's like, try to find out a little something about that person. Maybe don't ask them, oh, are you Chinese? Don't ask them that. Ask them, oh, what country are you from? What ethnicity are you?
I don't think I never had a teacher of color unless she was teaching me Spanish. I didn't let things like that stop me from becoming the student that I was when I graduated Van Horn. I also think that it's very important to find representation in the classroom, in leadership.
Because people like joke around like it's funny, but it's low key, it's not funny. High key, it's not funny. Like, it's not nothing to joke about. Because you're different color, you look different. That does not mean anything. Put yourself on the other side. The teachers ain't saying nothing, then they're gonna leave it up to the students. I mean, I know it's our school and all that, but still, like, we still need y'all help.
Just that teachers, they need to open their eyes more and look around the school, connect with students more.
I think that as students and as teachers, it is our duty in the education system to speak out and make our voices heard. And throughout my years here at Van Horn, I definitely felt the love and the motivation from my teachers and from a couple of students to be that person and be that girl to speak out. But over the years, I also inquired myself with some people who didn't really fit on that side of the spectrum.
We should have more like cultural activities. That way everybody can be engaged and we can all talk and actually be as one and make us more social within all races.
First thing that we need to do is realize that we are from different races, that we do come from different communities. When we start noticing that, then we are able to bring other communities into decision making in the way that we live our life every single day.
Racism all the discriminating in the world has built up tension everywhere. It's affecting most of the youth. Right now it's just building up and it's like a bubble is gonna burst eventually.
Many people are still fighting for that right to be here and it's being slipped out from under us. And it's something we should all be aware of, that there's kids in here, especially in Van Horn, who have come from all these different countries, from all these different cultures, and that want to experience their life fully. Missouri is just a very diverse place, but can be a very hard place to be diverse in. many people here are closed-minded. It's very hard to understand other people and where they're coming from. So it's just about keeping an open mind, keeping an open heart, and be willing to listen to
I've only had one teacher really talk about the whole DACA situation, and it's kind of sad because we go to a school where some of the kids here are on that program. Some of the kids' parents are not from here and could be taken away from them at any minute. I wish we would open up the conversation more.
One of the best ways I see the school being more race focused is just teachers getting informed. Undocumented kids come here and they tell them they have all these opportunities. And then halfway through their efforts, they're told, you know what, because you're undocumented, half of the things we told you are not going to be able to apply to you.
February is Black History Month, but we don't ever get to learn nothing new about it. Like, I know it's an all-white school, but we should still be able to know our history. Like, we learn about y'all, so all they do is put up posters and stuff. Like, what is that doing for us?
If you feel some type of way about someone saying something racist to you, you should speak up and speak your mind, because if you don't, then people will think it's okay to continue to let it happen when it's not okay, because it's a real big problem in America.
We can thrive from diversity, but a lot of the time it's hard to talk about, especially with teachers who are different color than you. Even going to a teacher of the same color, it's hard to talk about it because it's a controversial topic. It's something that's no one really wants to touch base on.
Kids in general look up to adults. So if adults or teachers get educated about this topic, then they can teach this topic to the younger people or their students.
I would say the best place to stop racism and all these other things would be high school.
That if we are to have a truly integrated society, men and women will have to rise to the majestic heights of being obedient to the unenforceable.